going a different direction.
Flea flicker. Brennan wants it all. Deep ball down the middle. Touchdown LSU. John Trey Kirkland from 29 yards out.
Hello and welcome into Tigers Roar. I am Jonathan Poche, as always, joined by the Bud Man, Buddy Songy. I want to thank you for tuning in. We haven't been here for the last 2 weeks. I was quarantined with my young son. We're back, ready more than ever for Tigers Roar. LSU now 1-1 after bouncing back from a tough opening season loss to Mississippi State. Mike Leach came in with the air raid, threw it all over the field. LSU bounces back with the Vanderbilt Commodores, beating them by 36 points, 41-7. You're supposed to beat Vandy by that much. LSU took care of business. But, man, what were your early impressions? I know a lot of head scratches with that Mississippi State game. On a defensive side, Miles Brennan in the first half couldn't run the ball, didn't get any pressure on the Vanderbilt quarterback. A lot of question marks. But LSU, they say the biggest jump in progression is between the first game and the second game. LSU certainly seemed to do that.
You know, folks, we want to say hello to you, as JP alluded to. We hadn't been here in a while. We wanted to make sure we had all of our ducks. There's been so much uncertainty for this football season. Wearing the sunglasses only for the first segment because I have a tradition of when LSU loses a game and we come back on, I wear the sunglasses for the duration of the show or just the first segment today. Rude awakening. You know, JP, nothing normal about this year. And I think there were a lot of little inside deals that people didn't take into consideration. Listen, the whole offensive line got quarantined. They all got it. They only had 5 linemen for about a week of practice. Yep. It showed in that game. Bo Pelini, hard-headed, didn't get out of the man-to-man. Derek Stingley not playing, had to throw guys out there. So the first week was just a cluster bomb. And I know you Tiger fans were very upset. Obviously, the first time since 1998 that a national championship team defending lost their opener. Michigan did that 22 years ago. That all being said, nice rebound against Vandy. Appreciable improvement with Miles Brennan. Pocket presence, letting the game slow down, releasing the ball. We just saw a great call by Coach Ensminger on the flea flicker. By the way, I thought that the play calling in that first game, you just never sensed that they were in a rhythm, and it was because the old bad habits came back. The drops. Terrace Marshall dropped the ball early on in the game that really cost them momentum and yardage. Mississippi State had the ball for a bunch. Well, it was kind of a reversal. LSU got back to playing LSU football, playing a lot of young players. Remember, I told you in the offseason, you better have a program, you better have a roster, because there are a lot of new numbers. And now you got guys like Allie Gay and Travis Moore and Andre Anthony and Damone Clark and, of course, Jabril Cox. Yeah. Obviously, Elias Ricks, true freshman already with 2 picks. All these guys are new, and now they're new starters. And so now you have a feeling out process. I know most of you are aware that we are putting all of the folks in the state of Louisiana, as well as West and Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida. For all of those, it's been a rough hurricane season. We've dodged a bunch. We still don't know exactly to what extent Hurricane Delta will impact us here in Baton Rouge, taping this show the Wednesday before the game at Missouri. And because of the impending storm and the track and the cone, LSU and the SEC agreeing with Missouri and Greg Sankey that they would move the game. So Saturday, 11 a.m., my phone is blowing up. How does this affect the team? Some people think it's good. Jacoby Stevens also said, hey, we worry about our family when you leave in these kind of situations. But LSU's done this before with Arizona State and other situations. So if there's any kind of normalcy in 2020, it's not going to be here with LSU football. They'll end up with 4 home SEC games and 6 road games. But like I said today on the radio show, hey, when you get lobbed 2 cupcakes in Vandy and Missouri for your 2 additional Eastern opponents, you know, it's a good break there where you got the bad break. Tigers are going to travel once again. We'll announce the TV network it's on, but you'll be able to see it. Let's just hope that all of those who care about it are going to have lights to be able to see that puppy on Saturday morning.
It's pretty eerie, but man, it's 5 years to the day that the announcement was made when LSU in that Florida game where the hurricane was going towards Florida. LSU was supposed to play in Gainesville. They came over to LSU. Remember that cluster with the whole Florida administration and AD? The big problems that caused, and LSU, of course, had to go to Gainesville back-to-back years. There was a big humdrum, some scuffling before the game. Hopefully this goes much smoother. Got to tip your hat to the SEC for getting this done early, being very concise and clear about what the plan was going to be, and playing this game on Saturday, even if it is Missouri, for LSU's supposedly home game.
One of the other advantages of playing this game at 11 o'clock in the morning is that the trainers will tell you if you play a game at 8 o'clock at night, let's be honest, that puppy's not going to finish until 11:30. By the time you get your pads off, do interviews, and eat, it's 1 or 2 in the morning. If they were to travel to Missouri like they have to and played at 8, they wouldn't have got home till 4 or 5 in the morning. Right. So this is now a much better situation. You're going to have a rested team for Florida, and you got to take care of business. I'm a little worried about the first half. I think Missouri will come out with a lot of P&V, and this is a ball game that they want to try to steal. But if LSU can protect the football, liked a lot of these young guys coming in, Jacoby Stevens and others leading, and what a difference it makes when Derek Stingley Jr. comes back to the DB. Todd Harris with a pick, obviously Elias Ricks with 2 picks. And how about John Emery? We finally saw a little taste of the future.
Right.
The question here now, does Curry come back and get his usual reps? Do you play the hot running back? Obviously, John Emery is a guy, and as we said before the show, the feel-good story, seeing guys like Jontra Kirkland, who's a fifth-year senior, redshirted, was a scout team quarterback all last year, getting ready for all those games. He gets his first couple of touchdown receptions. Great story in number 13, Jontra Kirkland, with 2 scores.
And we will hear from Jontra Kirkland right here in Tigers Roar a little bit later on this program. Back to our first break, have a whole lot more here on Tigers Roar. Don't go anywhere. He's the Bud Man. I'm JP. Come back and join us right here on Tigers Roar.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
desire in your eyes, but you can't keep it in your heart. 'Cause misery loves company. 'Cause misery loves company. Cold and hungry like a dog in the street. I get a raw deal every one.
And welcome back to Tigers Roar. I am Jonathan Poche, joined by Buddy Songy. Jumping right into it, LSU defeats Vanderbilt 41-7 this past weekend in Nashville. Miles Brennan bounces back with some big numbers: 23 for 37, 337 yards, 4 touchdowns. Did have the 1 interception, threw 2 touchdowns. Terrence Marshall Jr., who had 2 catches on a day. This guy lives in the red zone. And also, you mentioned the 2 touchdowns for Jontre Kirkland, a guy that's a senior this year. Could come back again next year. He did get the red shirt. So happy for that young man. We're going to hear from him just a little bit in Tigers Roar. Right now, we have some highlights from past Saturday. I want to let you see those right now. We'll talk over them and keep the conversation going. So without any further ado, we'll roll those highlights in the truck, please, Katie. Certainly appreciate that. Whenever you get a chance, there you go. LSU started off pretty well. Got the defense rolling, had the 4-3 working with Bo Pelini. Got early pressure on the Vanderbilt quarterback. There you see number 11, Ali Gay, really throwing him to the ground. That's what LSU will need, even though their secondary is good. They need to get more pressure on the quarterback.
Makes a difference when Stingley is back. Of course, now you see Miles Brennan stepping up. JP, the game slowed down for him. Of course, there you see my favorite, Eric Gilbert. I want to see more of Eric Gilbert. Here you go. John Emery, he's starting to feel it. He's starting to get his confidence, and obviously he's got more giddy up in his step than either of the other running backs.
John Emery, 12 attempts, 103 yards, and the touchdown. First time he put the century mark this year. Look for him to be featured a little bit. He can catch the ball at the backfield. Yes, Curry is good. He's a bruiser, but John Emery just adds another dynamic to that offense.
No doubt about it. And then, of course, as we know, he just looked more confident. He looked like he was taking his time, but really explosive. Tyrion Davis-Price still good. Chris Curry going to be running back by committee, but you got to like the potential with John Emery brings. And, of course, there you go with Jontre Kirkland, his first touchdown as an LSU Tiger.
He said in his interview he wanted to cry. He was so emotional getting to that end zone for the first time. In high school, he was the man. Touched the ball on every play. He was the quarterback. He isn't used to playing that second fiddle, but he's worked. He's paid his dues, waited his time. Happy for number 13.
Cam Wire came in and played left tackle. Number 61 did a great job. Of course, here we go. Once again, another. I love them throwing to the backs out the backfield. That was Tyrion Davis-Price. And, of course, as we know, whenever you throw over the slant, Jaire Jenkins, a nice surprise so far at wide receiver.
He had a great game. Miles Brennan looked so much more comfortable in the pocket this past game on Saturday. The first game of the season, he kind of escaped a clean pocket to run into a sack. None of that in the second game. He absolutely progressed from game 1 to game 2.
Siaki Aka with his first sack of the year, big number 62. Of course, here, once again, LSU giving Vanderbilt's offensive line a lot of problems. And one of the things really appreciably improved, they gave Derek Stingley a little room to run with the punt returns. You started to see a little bit of his potential as a punt returner last weekend, JP.
That was one of the questions we had before the season. Would they put number 24 back there? Would they maybe get a guy like Trey Palmer a chance? We know they're both dynamic, but look, 24 is your best player. You want him to touch the ball as often as possible, and good things will happen.
He's going to take one to the house before the end of the year on a punt return. Once again, this looks like Emery getting in space and no hesitation. As you see, making people miss. And look, he definitely can eat up some yardage quickly. And, of course, Terrace Marshall, once again, another touchdown. He is a touchdown maker. Glad to see he held on to that one on a quick slant.
You mentioned Cameron Wire came in to play tackle. I've seen that guy play basketball at East Ascension High School. We see the game of the week out there at Ascension Parish. He is so athletic for his size. He's going to do great things with that offensive line. It'll be fun to watch for the next couple of years.
No doubt about it. Could have another offensive line playing this weekend. Of course, Thomas is going to have to come in here, and we know that bottom line is that maybe Ed Ingram banged up, so we'll talk about what they possibly do. Dare Rosenthal could come back, and here's Marshall again. When you get him him in space, he's not going to get caught by Vanderbilt.
Kid is an absolute stud. Nobody benefited more than Terrence Marshall from Chase declaring, opting out, getting ready for the NFL Combine. Number 6 is going to shoot up the draft boards. I don't know about you, Bud Man, but I wouldn't be mad if Terrence Marshall ended up drafted in front of Jamar Chase.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Chase has put too many skins on the wall, but Marshall's definitely got a chance to be first-round pick. Once again, I was talking about Charles Turner possibly starting at left guard with Ingram being out. Once again, Derek Stingley on the bottom of that defensive play.
Now, Jacoby Stevens, this is his secondary. It's really his team. He wears number 7. He's a playmaker for this defense. He's leading the team right now in total tackles with 17, has 9 solos and 8 assists, 2 tackles for losses, which were the 2 big sacks.
Good to see Trey Palmer catch a ball, and man, oh man, have you seen Cade York this year? He is nailing everything down the middle. Also had a career record 53-yarder. It would have been good from 63 later on in this game, JP.
Yeah, Cade York played as a freshman, just continuing his success as a sophomore. No one in the NCAA has a better kicking game than LSU, with Von Rosenberg with the punting and Cade York for the plays kicking. Their special teams is second to none, in my opinion.
And this one I thought was going to go a touchdown. If you watch, maybe this is it. Yeah, this is it. Ray Thornton, number 43, didn't get a block here at the end, but if he had right there, Stingley would have taken it to the house. He's going to take one to the house before the end of the year. Good to see him having some room this year. And once again, another Cade York field goal.
That's right. You can always cash in with Cade York when you get inside the 40. The guy has a big leg, but he's so accurate with his kicks. Never really feels the pressure. We'll see if we get into these bigger games, the Florida, the Alabamas of the world, how he will fare. But really, that guy looks like he has ice in his veins.
And, of course, once again, Miles Brennan throwing. Hey, Racy McMath. I have made this prediction, and I'm going to stick with it. Racy McMath scores a touchdown this weekend against Missouri. Call number 17. And then the great flea flicker call by Steve Ensminger. You love this call.
My favorite part of this play is that Miles Brennan stood in the pocket, knew he was going to get hit, and delivered an absolute dime to Kirkland in the back of the end zone.
And Kirkland caught it and got his foot down.
2 toes. It would have been good on Sunday.
Here's another pressure, and here's Todd Harris telling everybody, I'm back. Look, he misses some tackles. He missed a big tackle in the Mississippi State game, but good to see him back. Everybody on the team likes and respects Todd Harris. Good to see him getting an IT.
That's right. Harris is a spark plug. It's always good to see him making plays. It gets the whole defense fired up. They respect him. They want him to succeed, and it's always great when guys like that have success on the field.
All right, number 1 here, Keyshawn Butte. I don't know why we didn't see him against Mississippi State, but we saw him. And here's Emory. He just looked like, hey, folks, you're going to see this a lot more often. Watch this little galley up, goop, as he gets into the end zone and tosses up the little finger roll with the football.
There you see Ricks with his second interception on the day. Budman, the young kids would like to say Emory was in his bag against Vanderbilt.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And this one was a lot more fun to watch, obviously a lot more fun to enjoy. That first game, I'm telling you, I hate to admit this, but I had 7 people after the Mississippi State game that I had to literally go to the bridge and talk off that bridge because, you know, defending and all. One thing we know, folks, 2020 is a heck of a year. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Every time you think you're going to get back to normalcy, something crazy happens. We've dodged COVID numbers. We've dodged hurricanes and storms. Once again, please put all of those folks in South Louisiana, especially Southwest Louisiana. We don't know if Delta is going to go true to form and go to Lake Charles area and Lafayette and Jennings, but all of us, once again, it's been a tough season. So, look, it's good to see the Tigers, and I thought it was a much-needed win with the Saints on Sunday in Detroit.
That's right. I mean, you know, LSU fans, they're passionate. They see something they don't like, they'll let you know. A lot of LSU fans took to Twitter after the first game of the season and said, look, Miles Brennan, I don't think he's the guy. You can't compare Miles Brennan to last year's Joe Burrow. You'll never see a quarterback play like Joe Burrow played last season. Miles Brennan bounces back in a big way against Vanderbilt, has the 4 touchdowns, completed to, I think, 11 different targets. He was sprinting around, comfortable in the pocket. His progression was the most outstanding thing for me in Game 1 versus Game 2.
Well, the difference is this. All right, the first time you and I were on TV, we might have been terrible. We might have been horrible. But there wasn't many people watching compared to what Miles Brennan is.
Right.
And I do think he probably put an inordinate amount of pressure trying to live up to what Burrow did. Look, all you want is to him to be the best that he can be. His first 2 games, he's got astronomical numbers. First time ever an
You're not
LSU
kidding.
quarterback in his first 2 games passed for over 300.
Yep.
I like the play calling. I like what they did on offense, and certainly Bo Pelini did a much better job with the defensive, philosophy. Because, man, I love blitzing more than anybody, but when you can't cover, you get tore up. And obviously the next weekend with Mississippi State getting beat as a 20-point favorite against Arkansas.
Felipe Franks.
It was, Felipe Franks and Pittman got his first win. So, look, once again, a great opportunity. Take care of the football, run the football, don't miss too many tackles, win the turnover battle, and you got a chance to take care of business. I don't care if it's 10, 14, 20, or whatever. You want to get this win. You want to get ready for Florida. And obviously, you hope that you get out of here without a lot of injuries.
9 straight games, LSU has scored at least 30 points. 11 straight games, LSU has thrown for over 300 yards. Keep the offense moving. Defense is going to step up. Too much talent in that secondary to hold them down. Guys emerging like Ali Gay, who's pretty much a sweetheart of LSU's team right now. Great story done by Cody Warsham about his transition from third world country, junior college, why he wears number 11.
Yeah.
The guy's hard not to like. Very soft-spoken, very long, NFL body. LSU fans, if you haven't so far, you're going to be getting to notice number 11 on the field.
His friend Brian Beekman was a kid from Baton Rouge that went over to Washington State and wore number 11. And, of course, he's that kid from Washington State, tragically, that passed away last year. So he is dedicated this season to him. Really enjoyed seeing the backs catch the ball out the backfield. I think that is something we're going to continue to see. And, Zach Van Rosenberg and Cade York, and now you throw in Stingley. LSU special teams, can't gripe about that. Defense getting better. Interesting to see now. Got a new left tackle and a new left guard in response to what they had last week. So will they have the continuity in the Big Uglies? You hope so.
Going to take another break here on Tigers Roar. When we get back, we'll hear from the players, a couple seniors, and a newcomer in Ali Gay. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss these player interviews right here on Tigers Roar.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with The Rocket Right Show.
We are 2 busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
You could be driving.
Right now, during the Team Honda Upgrade event, get a new 20 Accord Sport for just $309 a month with no money down, no first payment, and no security deposit. It's time to upgrade to your new Honda at Louisiana's #1 new car dealer, Team Honda on Segan Lane.
I've seen a lot of things during my life, more bad things than good. I've lived in a lot of places, but never a home. I don't think anybody cares about me anymore. And now, I'm tired. Signed, Brian, age 11.
Abused and neglected children in East Baton Rouge Parish are in dire need of CASA volunteers. Please call 379-8598 today. Change a life of hurt into a life of hope.
Hello. Hola. Ni hao.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
Welcome back to Tigers Roar. But, man, before we took a break, we mentioned Jacoby Stevens, how it really is his team. He's a very outspoken leader on that team, both on and off the field. Wearing number 7 this year. We thought he might get 18. That went to Curry and Clark. But number 7, once Chase opted out, that's not a bad tradition to carry on. Of course, you got Patrick Peterson, the Honey Badger, Fournette, Chark. Number 7's a pretty big deal. Now, he leads the team in tackles with 17. The guy's all over the field. Rarely ever comes off the field. He's shouting out where to line up. Jacoby Stevens is an asset for the Tigers.
But the main thing he did is after Mississippi State, he said, hey, guess what? I'm going to hold you guys accountable. Matt Trent of Channel 2 asked Coach O about the punishment system, and Coach O said, I don't know what you're talking about, but Jacoby Stevens got up in people's face and said, listen, there's a reason we're DBU. 630-plus yards of passing and 383 after the catch. Right. They minimize that to 60, so there's no doubt he's living up to the number 7 legacy. We know that obviously you still got to have another safety to come in. Mo Hampton and Todd Harrison doing that. I'm waiting to see Jordan Tolles. You know, one of the things, because there's no cupcake games and non-conference games, it's a little slower start with some of these true freshmen, but there are a lot of true freshmen you may start to see as LSU gets some leads if this happens on Saturday and if you get more injuries. So Jordan Tolles, 21, is a guy that you can wait to see. Want to see more balls to Eric Gilbert. I want to see him like Kyle Pitts, getting 7 or 8 balls every week. And Keyshawn Butte, all the others. Look, this is a young team, but there's enough leadership with Stevens and others. Got a recipe, JP, to have a good year. Got to beat Florida and Alabama, and right now they'll be prohibitive underdogs in both those games if it's going to be a great year. But you know what they say in the business, 1 week at a time.
Without further ado, I want to let you guys hear from Jacoby Stevens. Here is number 7, senior safety, Jacoby Stevens.
The difference between home game and away game as far as the atmosphere and crowd noise, and just how did it feel different?
I mean, we really didn't kind of get a tell of two tales, because just Vanderbilt really didn't have a lot of fans there. I know they had their students, but I just know, like, when we were in Tiger Stadium, you know, we kind of felt the energy from the fans, and
she has to go up and down for commercial.
We didn't really need the audio crowd noise, because we got it from LSU fans. I guess that'll be the only difference that I can say now, that compared from home and away, is that when we were in Tiger Stadium, we really didn't need the audio.
What's up, Jacoby? I know nothing's decided yet, but we have another hurricane in the Gulf. I'm sure you're probably a little used to it by now. But does it affect the players at all? Is it something that you guys talk about, speculate, whatever? And I guess just your thoughts on if this game has to change location or time.
I mean, there's not anything that we're focused on pertaining to the game plan. Of course, we're worried about our families and making sure everything's okay, outside of football. But when it comes to the game and where we're going to play, that's something that we're not going to worry about. There's something that Coach O is going to tell us, and if we got to travel on Friday to Missouri, that's something that we're going to do. But I don't think that's going to affect how we're going to prepare for this game.
Hey, Jacoby, John Shea was just talking earlier about how he had been in the staff DB room, and he was able to help you guys prepare for the national championship. How was he in those settings and environments? And he seems like just a joyous ball of energy. So just how is he as a teammate, and even just through the position switches, just waiting his turn and having that moment on Saturday?
Yeah, John Trey is he's just a team guy. He's a team player guy. He's always willing to do what's best for the team. I mean, coming from Lutcher, he was a quarterback and he signed on as a DB. So right there, that was a position change, and a lot of guys don't do that. And then when he felt that he can get more playing time at receiver, he went to receiver. And then people forget, I want to say 2 years ago when we were short on corners for the Fiesta Bowl, just that in that short week, he learned the entire game plan and went back to play corner, and then went back to play receiver. So John Trey is going to go wherever the team needs him to go, And I mean, you see that a lot with a lot of these guys on the team. That just speaks to the character of the team. But John Trey is just the epitome of a team first guy.
Hey, Jacoby, I was just wondering if you could tell us maybe a little bit of an early kind of scouting report of what you guys have seen on film of Missouri. You know, they like a lot of motions, a lot of splits. I mean, just what are your, I guess, early impressions of your preparation for this?
The things that I get from Missouri is just like you said, they do a lot of motions. They do show you a lot of eye candy stuff. So the big thing, especially with the young guys, is eye discipline. You don't want to be looking at the motions and looking at the backfield, because sometimes they run orbit motions and fly motions just to run a simple outside or inside zone play. But what those motions do is get you out of your gap, get you out of position, and they hit something and they run something. Kind of basically very, very simple. It kind of reminds me of kind of what Auburn does with Gus Malzahn. I think the offensive coordinator actually coached with him, so it's kind of similar in that type of sense.
Yeah, Jacoby, Ron Higgins, Tiger Rag. Can you talk about this? Whose idea was it for the Tigers United patch, and what does it mean to have that on your jersey?
Matter of fact, I think that idea came from Greg Stringfellow. I think that's one of his ideas to put it on there. I think that's something that the administration came up with to put it on our jerseys, and they let us pick out like the font and the color and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. But it means a lot. It kind of just shows how the administration is kind of getting behind the student athletes on what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish with social injustice and the other things that's going on in society. So for them to come up with the idea to put that on our jersey, which our jersey is very traditional, and we always wear the white jersey. So for them to want to edit it, if you will, and put that type of patch on there means a lot.
Thanks. Hey, Jacoby, I mean, you've kind of become the obvious poster child for guys moving positions until they find their home. So I guess what have you seen from Joseph Evans, obviously in the past 6 months, basically changing positions 3 times and carving a rollout?
Yeah, I mean, when he was going back and forth, I kind of messed with him and just kind of try to keep his head up, because I knew exactly what he was going through and what he was thinking. So it's always kind of a little bit of a pleasure of mine to see Joe make a play. When he got his first sack against Vanderbilt and he was making tackles and all like that, it's kind of it's pretty cool watching that happen, because he just kept his head down and he worked, he moved because we were short on offensive linemen, and then he was asked to move again because we were short on defensive linemen, and now he's carved out some playing time in the rotation, and now he's making plays. So it's always a good thing to see a team first guy or a team first player make plays on Saturdays.
Hey, Jacoby, this is Josh Sibley with Louisiana Gridiron Football. What's it like? What's the excitement level like with Eli and Derek, and watching those guys battle each other out for interceptions and pass breakups each week?
It's pretty cool. I mean, I think Elias has learned a lot from Derek, and he's just applying that on Saturday. I think he really put a really full, good game together this second week here. But I think all that speaks to their coach, Corey Raymond. I mean, at the end of the day, when you see multiple guys come in here and make plays like that, you got to look at the coach, because I mean that's really the constant year in, year out. And I think you got to give a lot of credit to Coach Raymond for that.
Hey, Jacoby, Brooks from The Advocate. You were talking about Missouri's offense a bit. One of the things that seems like they also do is some screens on the edge to kind of keep you off filter. How do you look at those? How do you monitor those? And how do you keep those from not catching you off guard?
I mean, like I said, a lot of those things is kind of like Auburn. So a lot of those screens is, a lot of their offense comes with playing the numbers game and the leverage game. They're going to try out leverage you, and they're going to try outnumber you in certain situations. So they like what they see. The quarterback has the option to throw it out into a screen and let their athletes getting space to make a play. I think they have 2 good quarterbacks that do that, and I know that that's what they're going to try to do because that plays to their strengths. So as a defender, that's going to be our job to try to take that stuff away.
Following up on that, I mean, is the defense still on punishment, or?
No, we had a little leeway to this week. I mean, you don't want to keep doing punishing everybody for a good performance. But the whole thing I hope everybody got out of that was now they see what it takes to get a dominating win in the SEC, and hopefully that guys took what they learned from that and just basically applying it throughout the week this week. So we don't have to go through the same feeling that we did 2 weeks ago, and keep pushing forward and keep having a good season this year.
We're gonna do it. And welcome back to Tigers Roar. Of course, we haven't been here for a while, so we're a little bit of kinks, but we'll work those out. Jonathan Poche, the Budman, Buddy Songy. Quick reminder for you guys, check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. A great way to keep up with everything we're doing here at the Pelican. While we're talking about the Pelican, a quick format update. It was Mondays and Wednesdays for Clarence Bugs from 10 to 12, and of course the Exiles on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock. Now it's switching up. Every day, Monday through Thursday, the Exiles will play from 10 to 11 with the replay from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Then immediately following the Exiles, Clarence Bugs, just like the old days on the radio, he'll be backing up the Exiles from 11 to 12, then a replay from 11 to midnight. Check them out, of course. Rocket Right, Kate Solar, and Betsy Barnes are hosting a new show here on the Pelican.
Great show.
That'll air tomorrow, Thursday nights around 8 o'clock. Check it out. There's some fantastic ladies that do a great job. Great guests, very professional, fun to be around, Betsy and Kate.
A lot of great local shows and daily shows, and all of us have a lot of fun. I tell you what, that Clarence Bugs, every time I turn him on, I learn something. Of course, Bill and Kevin have been around a long, long time, but I like the two blondes. They're not too serious about themselves, but they have great guests, and they really have a lot of great contacts in this city and this state.
Getting back to LSU football, one of my favorite stories of the year, number 11, Ali Gay. Transferred from junior college. Guy was born in Africa, came from a third world country, didn't come from much, plays for his parents, wears number 11 to tribute to one of his friends who passed away last year he played football with. A fantastic story, guys. Very soft-spoken, but a beast on the defensive line.
6'6", 265, and has done a really good job. Remember last year with Chason, he'd sell out, and sometimes he'd give up run contain because he was so hell-bent on getting to the passer. Ali Gay has played very, very solid, and in that first game, the only negative, JP, is that, and I don't want this to sound like a homer comment, but Mississippi State was tackling and holding him and never, ever got called. Ali Gay, I'm going to make this prediction in another week or two, and Florida may address this. They're going to know where he is on every play. They may start doubling him. Andre Anthony changed from 46 to number 3, doing better, getting better. Travers Moore also some at the defensive line. Don't forget defensive tackle rotation this week. Glenn Logan comes back. Apu Ika. Neil Farrell, kind of like me, he's got a little belly right now, and as soon as he gets in shape, he's going to be very consistent. Jaquelin Roy and others.
Jaquelin Roy.
He looks like it. So they've got a decent now rotation on the D-line, and one of the things that they hated to see in that tape out from Mississippi State, JP, guys taking plays off.
Yeah.
So now if you develop some depth, you got guys that raise their hand, say, I'm tired, you get somebody in there. But doing better, and let's be honest, in the SEC, and it's a 10-game regular season schedule this year, like nowhere else and nowhere in the history of the SEC to play 10 straight, you got to be consistent in the trenches.
That's right. We'll let you guys hear from number 11, Ali Gay, junior defensive end for LSU Tigers. Here he is. Check him out here on Tigers Roar.
I mean, so far just being in this defense, I've learned that there's a lot of ways to really, be active and really help this defense. For me, in my position, going from, working with Coach Luxcher and Coach O and just the defensive line coaches. I've learned to really be able to use my my length and my speed and just rush it from the outside. And how Coach Bo really utilizes us as a defensive line, it really allows us to be able to rush off the edge and really make plays with the defense that he has put in place.
Hey, Ali, Jared Joseph, Fox 44. Tell me, how do you develop those instincts to know whenever to swat at the ball? Because you've already had a few handfuls of them, it seems like, at this point. And also, I mean, how was it during your first game at Tiger Stadium?
We do a lot of drills in practice to really know how to time and jump. For me, I know working with Coach Lancashire, we do a lot of drills where we have to, we work with trying to cut, like, so he simulates a ball, us getting cut, and also timing when the quarterback really comes forward with the ball and timing it perfectly and just going up there and batting the ball down.
Hey Ali, it's Glenn West with LSU-SI. I was just kind of curious, you guys get Glenn Logan back this weekend. It's another big piece for you guys. I mean, just what kind of an impact do you think he can have on not only this game, but just moving forward? And has there been anything that you've learned from him at all, with him being kind of a senior on this roster?
I mean, it's a big deal us getting him back this week because he's a key piece to this D-line. He's one of the vocal guys and he's one of our leaders. So it's great to have him back because he's going to give us a lot of energy and he's going to bring a lot of motivation to the guys because we all look up to him and then we all look up to him as a leader and he basically pushes us all to be better players. So he's one of our leaders for the defensive line. So it's good to have him back this week going forward.
Hey, Ali, Jared Rose of TigerDetails.com. Coming into this program, what did your goals and expectations for yourself look like, and how has that compared to the way it's gone so far to get the start right off the bat in game one and have the success you've had already?
Coming in here, when I got here, I didn't expect to be a starter, but coming in here, I had the mindset to just work. And I know it wasn't going to be given to me, so I had to work to earn the position. But I had goals of becoming my best self and becoming a better player and becoming one of the top defensive linemen in the country. Which I'm still working towards. So I say just day by day, I'm gonna just keep working and just take the coaching and just learn everything from these coaches and be better as a player, as a teammate.
Hey, Amos Morale with WWL Radio in New Orleans. You kind of touched on this, but did it surprise you all that you were able to get off to such a fast start? I know you mentioned working for it and the drills, but did it surprise you that all that transferred so quickly?
It didn't surprise me because I know what I bring to the table, and I know what I bring to this defensive line, and that kind of all was put into perspective. The time that I spent here since the spring. Coming in, no, I didn't expect it because there was a lot of guys ahead of me, and I knew I had to, look up. I had to look up to a lot of guys and see, how things work. In order for me to, earn the position that I'm in right now. But over time, it kind of clicked on me. It kind of clicked on me as a possibility that this is possible for me to become a starter. So I kept it in the back of my head and just kept on working and just learning from the coaches and just taking everything they had to tell me and just putting it all out there on the field.
Hey, Ali, this is Josh Sibley with Louisiana Ground Football. I was wondering, what has been your biggest transition from game one to game two, and how has your confidence grown in the locker room?
I'd say just being comfortable with knowing the game tempos and game speed, and just realizing how to plan each play and each down with the play calls and just being able to execute the plays and just everything that was that's out there. So, but I say every game, you know, I can only get better and better. I'm not so much focused on, you know, personal stats or anything like that. I'm just really just out there having fun and just if a game happens for me to make as many plays as possible, you know, that's what I'm gonna go out there and do. But I mean, I'm not really focused on just, you know, going out there and just, you know, doing you know, focusing on my personal stats. So I'm just out there just having fun. But basically just going out there and realizing, you know, what I can do for my team and for this defense.
Hey, it's Brooks again from the Advocate. I mean, it seems like in your first 2 games, you got to see all kinds of offenses, air raid and then kind of bounce post out. With Missouri, looking at them a bit, their option run, all sorts of things they do. What, as you on the edge, what are you looking for against Missouri? What kind of things that you're being asked to do, and how do you face such a unique offense like this Saturday?
We know I'm going to be in a lot of lining up on the tight end a lot, and I haven't really I've watched just a little bit of film, but I haven't really broken down exactly how their offense is going to come out. But we know that it's going to be a little similar to Vanderbilt, but a lot more. They're going to have a lot more stuff that they're going to bring out that's different from them too. But we know it's going to be a little similar. So starting today, we're going to break down the film and you know, really plan our game plan, you know, moving forward and how we're going to attack their offense.
You know, like Brody Miller with The Athletic, I mean, it seems like such a big part of your journey has always kind of been that you have so much upside. It was just kind of polishing and whatnot. And I mean, even in junior college, you even put up some of the numbers you're doing right now in the SEC. So what do you think it was in the past 9 months that just kind of clicked for you to kind of put it all together?
I feel like mostly just coaching and being around a different environment where the defensive line position is really important, and being in a different conference that's really an attack mode defensive kind of scheme. So I feel like just being around the coaches and the kind of mindset that they have for the defensive line position, that's really what clicked on me, and that's really why I'm really playing the way I'm playing right now.
Hey Ali, this is William with Tiger Rag Magazine. Coach Ogeron mentioned during the quarantine you chose to remain in Baton Rouge rather than go home, and just kind of want to go through that process of what went into that decision and what did you get accomplished during that time, and maybe, you know, obviously you missed spring, the entire team you missed spring, so to be in a position you were ready to go for fall camp, can you just take me through that process?
I chose to stay. I chose to stay because I knew if I went home, I wouldn't get a lot of work done. And with everything going on, I knew there was a lot of it would be a limited resource for me to get some work done. So I chose to stay here because I was around my teammates, so I was able to get some work done with them. You know, stay in shape and keep working, continuing. Because we knew eventually, you know, we would have to come back in the summer to get back to training. So I chose to stay just so I can, you know, stay in shape and just stay ready to go whenever we got the call to go back.
All right, that was junior defensive end Ali Gay, a kid that just approaches it the right way. Very good head on his shoulders. You heard him talk right there about how he didn't want to go home when all this COVID busted out. He wanted to stay on campus. He knew he'd get more work at LSU's facilities than he would at home. Got to hand it to a kid like that. Handles himself so well. You'll see a lot more of number 11 right here in Tiger Shore.
Very soft-spoken, but I tell you what, teams are starting to notice him. And one other thing, we got to give a tidbit and a tribute to Coach O and his staff. This is the third year in a row that they have done a great job of bringing in these grad transfers. First, it was Cole Tracy, who kicked 29 field goals. Of course, as a grad transfer, Burrow for 2 years, winning the Heisman and all the things that LSU accomplished with him. Now, Liam Shanahan, has he played better than you thought?
Absolutely.
A guy that touches it every time as the center, has got to block all these big uglies and these defensive monsters in the SEC. and is smart enough to make the calls. And then, of course, Jabril Cox had another good game.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you what, I'm
Mr.
starting
Pick
to think
Six.
Jabril Cox is a guy we may see on Sundays.
That's right.
As well as Alligator.
That's right. They called him Mr. Pick Six, talking about Jabril Cox at NDSU, and you saw why in the first game of the season. 19-yard interception return for a touchdown. Guy is very rangy, great wheels for a linebacker. He's really a good cover man, can shut down that tight end. He's going to play a big factor when LSU faces the Floridas and Alabamas of the world. Jabril Cox, a major get for LSU.
Hey, real quick, we know that the guys like to get in the habit, but worried about 11 o'clock start, or you think that they're probably glad to get out of all of this worry with the hurricane,
Right.
and they'll be ready to go. You eat your pregame meal 4 hours before, so that means they're going to be chowing down at 7 o'clock. Missouri is selling tickets to their season ticket holders. The deadline is 2 o'clock tomorrow. If they are not sold out, and I'm not sure what percentage they are living up to over there, but if you're an LSU fan in that area, you will have to call the Missouri ticket office. Public tickets, if there are any left, go on sale Friday morning. So be interesting to see, but I don't think the crowd will be a factor either way.
No. Good thing for LSU is they're playing Missouri. Even though you think the game's going to be close in the first quarter, LSU should be a heavy favorite. Even though the game was moved to Missouri. Missouri now 0-2 after losing to Alabama and Tennessee, two teams that are on the rise. Alabama, number 2 in the nation right now. Their offense and defense look pretty good.
Hey, Eli Drinkwitz, you think he had a few drinks? Alabama to start at home, Tennessee on the road.
Right.
Now he's got the second monster, and the defending champs, LSU, coming in. So they're getting acclimated very quick to he's getting acclimated very quick to the SEC. And, you know, Missouri, it's not a team that LSU's played since they've been in the conference over there. So it's kind of good that we get to see what it's like. Hopefully, once again, guys will be ready. And if they take care of business and take care of the football, I expect them to win double digits again. But I don't know about laying any big number like the Tiger Betters did last week.
Now, I read that wrong. I think I put too much stock in that game against Mississippi State. LSU was, 20.5-point favorites against Vanderbilt?
Correct. I got to 21.5. When I saw that line move, the smart money got on LSU.
Yeah.
We don't have an official line right now on LSU, Missouri, but other big games, Alabama. How many is he going to put on Lane Kiffin in that Ole Miss?
How funny was Lane
defense?
Kiffin?
Oh, Kiffin is begging for mercy. They might
Kiffin.
put 70 on Ole Miss this week. And then Kyle Trask, who grew up as an Aggie fan, was named after Kyle Stadium.
Right.
Him and his tight end combo with Kyle Pitts, they go in the Kyle Stadium. Jimbo and Kellen Mond, this is a big game. If they can pull the upset, maybe people give them a little respect. Right now, I think most people here locally are glad that Jimbo did not get the deal inked up with LSU for all those millions of dollars.
Yep. A lot more here on Tigers Roar. Got to take a quick break, but later on in this program, you'll hear from John J. Kirkland, a guy who caught his first 2 touchdown passes of his LSU career this past Saturday. Also, we'll be talking to Mike Scarborough from TigerBait.com. Haven't forgot about Mike. It's been a while since we talked to him because Budman talks to him on the radio. Mike does a great job here for us on Tigers Roar. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bugg Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
Bellelo's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bellelo's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
All right, folks, we welcome you back to Tigers Roar on a Wednesday evening here in the capital city of Baton Rouge. Hope everybody doing well. Once again, monitor all of your Weather Channel and all the things that are coming in with Hurricane Delta. And we are now joined by David Latona. He is the VP of Marketing at DEMCO, Dixie Electric Member Co-op. You've seen him on with Clarence Buggs before, and he is going to give us a little, I guess you could say, hurricane tip segment. 3 or 4 minutes. David, happy Wednesday, and thank you for giving us a little time today. And once again, I know a lot of people that are DEMCO customers appreciate the job you guys do. A lot of attention to detail, and especially now, still fighting with COVID-19. It's been a chore, but let's talk about all the things that people need to be cognizant of as we face another situation with Hurricane Delta coming in sometime Friday.
Sounds great, buddy. It is such a pleasure to be on with you guys. We at DEMCO certainly want to serve our members as best we can, and getting this message out to them is certainly valuable, and we love that you guys are able to do that for us. As far as the storm, man, we're watching. Everybody's glued to the television, whatever their meteorological preference is. But I guess you're watching your favorite weatherman or weather lady to see what is the prediction. It is what it is. We're going to prepare for the worst. We're going to be ready to respond if it's a direct hit. And if we are fortunate enough to have this storm go somewhere else, we will hope that we can help out other co-ops throughout the Gulf Coast in their restoration efforts, like we're doing with those out west with Hurricane Laura's impact.
Yeah, no doubt about it. JP, look, I've got the hurricane list in my phone. I go to it. I've already had to refer to it about 4 times. David, for those that have maybe been out of town procrastinating, just coming back in, let's just give them some do's and don'ts real quick on getting prepared. The good thing about hurricanes, guys, is that you do have a day or two to do all your prep work. And even though they are unpredictable, David, most Louisianans, especially here in this part of the Baton Rouge, are well versed on what they need to do. But just a quick recap on what they need to do in preparation for another hurricane.
Sure thing. First of all, get to DEMCO.org. We have a tab entitled Storm Center that will give you checklists and things that you can use as a reference when you're preparing your home and your loved ones for the impact of a storm like this. There's also a link to getagamePlan.org, which is another great resource that we support when considering how to get ready and how to be prepared for that storm. Get everything buckled down, get everything hunkered down, and get ready to take on the brunt of a Category 4. Hopefully it's not, but prepare for the worst and just pray for the best.
We know about water. We know about non-perishable foods. We know about having cash. We know about filling up your gas tank, filling up your bathtub with water. Specifically, let's talk about generators and how they can be problematic if you don't go about it the right way.
Yes, sir. Generators are a great thing that can provide you with a convenience. However, they do need to be treated just as they are. That is a combustion engine, so that means it has an exhaust, and it has fumes that come from that exhaust that can be hazardous if they're not properly ventilated. You absolutely do not want to even put it in your garage. You want to have that unit well away from your eaves and overhangs of your home so that the fumes can properly ventilate away from your house and your loved ones.
And of course, we also know you have to have a checklist for your pets. JP, a lot of people, cats and dogs and other pets. Let's talk about a to-do list for your animals, as well as the older people and their medicine. We want to make sure you get all that out the way in case it does come a little closer than what we might anticipate on this Wednesday afternoon.
Sure thing, buddy. You want to sit and consider those things that may be difficult to replace, like pharmaceuticals and like those items you need from the grocery store that may not be available immediately after the storm, and you may need them in an immediate scenario, like medications and things. But you want to get those things in your storm kit and have them available to you in the case that you're without power or even that you have to evacuate.
All right, once again, let's give them all of the websites and phone numbers, especially if you are a DEMCO customer and you lose your lights during the duration of Hurricane Delta. Give us the protocols. And, hey, just because your neighbor has reported it, I know you want to make sure everybody goes through the normal protocol and make that phone call.
Yeah, please let us know. That number is 844-MY-DEMCO. And you can also report your outage if you have web access, but also through our mobile app that you may want to get on your phone or your tablet. It is free of charge in the Apple App Store as well as Google Play.
All right, David, thank you so much for your time today. God bless you and the people who put their lives at risk when you're trying to restore power. We know that you still have to socially distance with COVID-19, so we do ask our listening audience and our viewing audience to have patience, but let's hope that we dodge it. I'm up here with JP, and he told me earlier today, man, I'm hoping that, once again, none of us want to wish it anywhere else, but you're hoping that it's not going to be bad. And, of course, whether it's a direct hit or Lafayette, Lake Charles, or whatever, you don't wish it on anybody, but certainly it's great to have a company like you guys that do such a great job of keeping all of us safe and restore because I've got to be honest, JP. I'm not one, I don't want to be without lights when LSU and Missouri play Saturday morning at 11 a.m.
But man, I need my air conditioner.
Yeah.
My hot self can't sit in a room and go to sleep unless I have the fan blowing and the AC on. So yeah, I've been spoiled. Hey, I'll admit it. I need my cold drinks, need my AC, I need power.
Couldn't do it without you, David.
Thanks so much. You guys stay safe.
Thank you, David. You too.
Thank you. And, of course, David has been on with Clarence Buggs. Knowing Clarence, he might have him on again tomorrow. And most of you know the protocols, but it never gets to be old hat. And, sometimes when there's a hurricane on the rise, you see it with the gas lines and you see it with the stores. I'm not seeing that panic because I think people are used to it and they know the ritual.
Well, I mean, there's been so many times the media has cried wolf, and storms are coming. It's going to be the storm. It's going to be the storm, and it turned. And look, I'm very thankful for that. I'm not trying to downplay the luck that we have been dealt with these storms so far. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they've been through this so many times before. A lot of people still have stuff stockpiled from both COVID and the rest of the storm perhaps that we've been through. We've been lucky so far. Hopefully, the luck streak will continue. Like you said, don't want to wish it on anybody else, but we wanted to miss right here. LSU already moved to Missouri. Saints play at home as of right now on Sunday. Of course, Latoya Cantrell already said will not be 25% capacity as the NFL, Roger Goodell, and the city of New Orleans all want. It's only going to be that 750, the family members of the Saints, if they play at the Dome on Sunday, of course, weather permitting.
Well, you had to get me in a bad mood here at the end because I have not been a fan of Latoya the Destroyer Cantrell, and they even have actually looked at contingency plans if Delta comes in and affects the city of New Orleans. But not having fans now, the third home game, is just absolutely ludicrous. And I think all of us here, we've seen it throughout the state. Some politicians are drunk with power, but that's getting a little bit ridiculous. By the way, real quick, for a couple of minutes with Saints Talk, I had to beat Detroit, and they were able to cover, even though they put some gray hair on you. I see one little gray hair because they were up 35-14. And then
they were down 14 before you even took a sip of your drink. I mean, the Saints, my goodness, they will give you a heart attack. You need to take your heart pills before you watch that game. So many question marks. Of course, you got the national media. Drew Brees can't throw the ball down the field. I mean, what? The guy hasn't thrown the ball down the field in the last 4 years. He's still one of the best quarterbacks in the league. It matters about the accuracy in that offense. He's still got it. Drew Brees is going to win a lot of games this season. Saints in second place right now. If they win one more, they'll hold the tiebreak against the Buccaneers because they beat them in week 1. Tom Brady's Buccaneers, looking pretty good. Devin White's defense on that Buccaneers is looking pretty good. Devin White coming into his own in the NFL.
A lot of good NFC teams. Of course, not the NFC East, which is a horrible division this year. But I do think that if you can take care of business on Monday night, beat the Chargers, then you got an extra week to get Thomas and Davenport, some of those guys back. And there's not a lot of wiggle room. You got really very little room to play.
Yep.
right now. I'm looking at Seattle. I'm looking
Packers.
at Tampa Bay. I'm looking at Green Bay. I don't see the Saints.
Right.
They're going to have to win some road games in the playoffs this year.
I agree. Of course, Saints without Alvin Kamara would be in a world of hurt. He's been the MVP so far. Defense has looked okay. Malcolm Jenkins, we won't talk about that.
Well, I was wrong about Kamara. I said I didn't think he deserved the $15 million, and the reason I said that is, well, he deserves it. I said 13
they underpaid.
But listen, they overpaid for Andres Pete, and they overpaid for Davenport for sure, and they've overpaid for Malcolm Jenkins and others.
Taysom Hill.
Oh,
my
who
goodness.
they're trying to get involved because he got the big contract.
Right.
And I would think that they would work on getting Taysom Hill a little bit more involved with the offense in the open date and that time off. But right now, it has shut the momentum down on offense in a couple of these games and really cost them this year.
I mean, not having Michael Thomas obviously hurts the offense. God's the best receiver in the game. Emmanuel Sanders did step up. Traquan Smith had a huge game last week against the Detroit Lions. Real quick, sticking with the NFL, our boy Joe Burrow gets the first win as Cincinnati Bengal. Give him the game ball after the game. Did you hear what he said?
Yeah.
Putting it back in a ball bag.
He said, I like the feel
It's a
of
good
that ball.
ball. Yeah, it's a good ball.
And you know, that just goes to show you what Burrow is all about.
Yep.
He's a super guy and really focused, really smart, but not about himself. He says, I hate losing. And I don't know if Zach Taylor's going to make it. I hadn't been real impressed with him and the young coach But Burrow is pretty darn good for a rookie quarterback, starting and not having a lot of help, especially with his O-line. And A.J. Green, they need to put him in the retirement home. He's been horrible.
Hey, there is a reason that team picked first overall in the NFL draft. Joe Burrow doing the best he can. First rookie quarterback threw 300 yards in the first 2 weeks of the season. Done an outstanding job. Like you said, limited weapons. Does have a good running back in Cincinnati. Offensive line needs a lot of work. Zach Taylor, the head coach. Don't know if he'll survive it. Joe Burrow going to play a long time in the NFL. Quick break. Come back and join us right here on Tigers Roar. The Bud Man, JP. Don't go anywhere.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. And health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
The time to score huge savings on new Hondas is right now during the Team Honda Upgrade event. Get a new 20 Civic for just $239 a month with no money down and nothing due at signing. Upgrade to your new Honda today at Team Honda on Segan Lane.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
All right, folks, saving the best for last on this Wednesday evening. Appreciate all of you tuning in. And once again, replay tonight on the Pelican Channel 20 and 1020, both of those stations, HD TV. Mike Scarborough good to have you back on TV. So it's been 3 weeks since we did a live show. If you could, let's get everybody up to date with LSU football recruiting, and a crazy year, but it has not stopped the momentum, with LSU still being a very hot school, and this particular class still looking really good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think the last time we talked, it was I was maybe backing off of Corey Foreman a bit, saying it was 50-50 from 60-40. And now I'm, as far as Corey Foreman, number one defensive lineman in the country, I'm at about 70-30 LSU. And I've got him in the probable category. I see some of the national guys have, a week late. But, I like where LSU sits with him. And when you start filling in 18 now, and you start going 19, 20 through 24, I think you can fill it in quick order. And then it's a matter of, well, if you fill in all the blanks, there's only one spot left. And what is that one spot going to be? Will it be a fourth offensive lineman? Will it be a second tight end? Will it be a second running back? It's going to be interesting to see.
JP, after that first loss to Mississippi State, there were a lot of people saying, is there going to be a second corner? Do they have a guy that they have committed that can play in the slot, a nickel corner, and talk specifically about Sage Ryan, when you think he will actually make the verbal commitment?
Yeah, I'm not seeing where one of the last spots would be another corner, but that's not to say that can't be the case. I'm just not seeing it right now. And as far as Sage Ryan, high probable at LSU. Whether he does it next week or the first week in December, I don't think it matters. He'll be an LSU Tiger regardless.
Mike, it's been a while since we got to speak. Have to talk to you about the talented young quarterbacks inside the state of Louisiana, starting with Arch Manning, who played East Jefferson for his first game of the season, put up 6 touchdowns, 1 on the ground. Kid was impressive, Mike.
Yeah, I made a beeline there. I love nothing more than Thursday night games like that, because I could see a game like that and then also hit a Friday night. And so Arch Manning was absolutely on fire. It was funny to see all the media guys there. You're dealing with the COVID percentages fans allowed, but as far as media, every camera was there. All the TV stations in New Orleans had 1 or 2 guys there at least. And, of course, I stuck in over there. And, he is a big-time quarterback. There's no doubt about it. He's gotten taller since I had seen him last year, a bit heavier. And the sky's the limit. He's going to continue to get bigger and stronger. And then the next night, I was laughing and saw Walker Howard get his first start as a varsity quarterback as they hosted Plaquemine, and really he put him on. He had 5 touchdowns in 1 rushing. And, of course, Jack Best looked fantastic as his receiver, as well as the Arsenault kid. He's got a couple of real good receivers. So, look, if those 2 guys were both in the same recruiting year, I'd have Walker Howard ahead of Arch Manning right now, but they're not the same year.
Right.
And I think Arch, there's Arch one kid that makes the biggest jump from 16 to 17-year-old, 17 or 17 to 18. And there's no doubt he's got that Manning pedigree that knows how to read defenses and wants to be a student of the game. So it's just an incredible run we're about to see at quarterback between those 2. Eli Holstein and Zachary. You got the Mooney kid at Denham's one to watch, and I'm really excited about Ricky Collins, the 23 quarterback that went on, being coached by Marcus Randall. I think he's one to watch.
Hey, you guys can talk about the sexy players, but let's get into the trenches, Mike. Where does LSU stand with Tristan Lee? And also, if you could expound on the fact that Max Johnson's got a brother who's a really good tight end. Garrett Dellinger's got another brother who's going to be good. And Tristan Lee has a little brother who's going to be really good. This is kind of interesting. It's almost like 2 for 1 on some of these prospects. Do you expect the brothers to follow suit? And give me the latest on Tristan Lee, please.
Yeah, I think the Sooners do follow suit. It's always, with Mac Johnson, you never know how the quarterback room's going to fill up. And, look, man, on one hand, it's a positive, but, when guys get an extra year of eligibility, that also makes guys, particularly the quarterback spot, say, well, man, I was banking on this guy being out of here by a certain date, and now he's got more eligibility. So, you got Max Johnson and T.J. Finley looking at Miles Britton and him getting a free year. And then they've got Garrett Nussmeier coming in behind them at midterm. So everybody's getting backed up a little bit.
Mike, I was watching 60 Minutes, and I thought about you. I said, man, this has to be the best hour of television Mike Scarborough has ever seen with the Power Hour on 60 Minutes. How cool was that?
It's just more par for the course.
Yep.
Look, absolutely rotten from many different areas. But one thing it hadn't been rotten at is the free public relations.
That's exactly right.
Football program has got all year long since winning the national championship. Whether it's just been Fox News getting Edwards trying to come on and talk about whether it'd be a college season or not. Yep. The NFL draft. Then you're highlighted on 60 Minutes. The premier news show for 50 years or whatever it is. You just can't put a dollar amount on that on what that does for marketing.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And and look, not only is it free pub, but I mean he's been all over the spectrum, including some political news networks that, of course, have drawn the ire of former players like Ryan Clark. But they crossed that bridge when they had to. And Mike, if you could, give us a wrap-up. 18 verbals right now. If you could talk about positions, is there any position that you feel like they're not taken care of? Or do you think the staff is relatively happy with where they're at and where the next 7 or so will be? Of course, you only get 25 this year because you used the last one from last year on Darren Evans, a corner from Nichols, who got burned in the first game, and hopefully he'll get more acclimated to the speed of the SEC. But last 7 and how that plays out, in your opinion.
Well, yeah, look, okay, and I'm doing off the top of my head. So 18, 19 Tristan Lee, 20 Corey Foreman, 21 Mason Smith, 22 Sage Ryan, 23 Brian Thomas, 24 Savion Bowles, the guard from Duncanville, Texas. So then, like I said, 25, is it a 4th offensive lineman? Is it a 2nd running back? Is it another corner? Is it a 2nd tight end? One of the guys I've been wanting to see is Cole Taylor, tight end. And how hard is it to get a 2nd tight end with Eric Gilbert there? And and you got the cheap kid committed already. So, and we'll see what Cole Taylor ends up doing. But I know they're excited about him and his future. So, that's some strong debates that they have to have in the room. If every one of those guys I ticked off, 19 through 24, comes to fruition.
Wrapping up, Mike, any sleepers that still have a chance, or is it just LSU really tight with scholarships? And we talked about it today. Keon Coleman decommitted to Kansas, and some other kids. It seems like LSU now is picking players more than players are picking them because of this great 2-3 year run that they've had recruiting, as well as winning the championship last year.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, well, they offered Malik Neighbors, the wide receiver at Southside in Youngsville 2 weeks ago. All right, well, he's committed to Mississippi State. I think he's firm to them. But what happens if he changes his mind? I mean, this is going to be very interesting. For sleepers, I don't know if you call him a sleeper. He's got an offer. Everybody's going to continue to ask about Matthew Langlois at Catholic Point to P. You know, he's fantastic and does it all for them. You know, and I you know, as I talk about Walker Howard, well, every time you watch film on him, and we're going to have a ton of it on Tiger Bait, you know, it's Jack Fish. You know, people are going to keep playing for him, and he's, you know, committed to Vanderbilt. I just wonder if some point Jack Vetch is going to have a bunch of better offers outside of Vanderbilt. But look, he comes from a highly educated family. Both parents are attorneys, so I think they like the idea of that Vanderbilt education. But man, he's a super receiver. If it's a 50-50 ball, he's going to catch it.
All right, Mike, go ahead and tell everybody about TigerBait.com, what they can get on the site. Tell them about the all-day chats and tell them how they can subscribe today.
Yeah, that's it. Go to TigerBait.com. I'm on the message board day and night. If you have a recruiting question or want to talk football, I'm there on the Tiger Den premium board around the clock. Nobody does prospect video better than we do. As I'm talking to you, I'm on the road now out to go see somebody. So we're loading the site up with HD content, and we've got our post-game shows and our analyst analysis features. So TigerBait.com, tries for $1. Like I always say, choose the annual package. With the annual package, you're basically getting 3 months of Tiger Bait for free every year.
Good stuff, Mike. Couldn't do it without you. Thank you. Stay safe, and we'll talk with you again next week, my friend.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, buddy. Thanks, y'all. Okay.
All right. And very quick show tonight. Obviously, we covered all gamuts. We gave you some tape from Allie Gay and Jacoby Stevens. We kind of recapped LSU. Vandy, real quick, your scenario, LSU traveling 11 o'clock in the morning. I think it'll be relatively close the first quarter. I expect LSU to kick some field goals and extend the lead, and then hopefully put the hammer down and win by double digits in the second half.
Well, I'm not ready to give a score yet so early in the week. Still don't know how LSU is going to handle all this adversity. I mean, with the hurricane coming, a lot of families are displacing their kids. It's a lot of mixed emotions going around. LSU does travel, which they thought it was going to be a home game, so that's a change. Then you throw in the hurricane and everything else with COVID, players testing. You never know. These are college kids. I mean, you don't know how it's going to play out. And as you mentioned, they need to focus up. Florida's next week, but they need to focus on Missouri this week. Get the job done. Don't look past them. I do pick LSU to win. Don't know the score yet. Check me out on Twitter, Poche3. I'll give you that prediction later on this week.
I like it. And you know, it is kind of a trap game, seeing all the things that have happened very quickly. Of course, we appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. And once again, we want you to be smart and stay safe. Don't be too assumptive. We never know where these things are going to come in. Continue to monitor the Weather Channel, and we hope that all of you are going to come out of this okay. And obviously, we certainly hope that we have our lives to see LSU play 11 o'clock on Saturday morning against Missouri. I do have them winning by double digits.
That's right. Play for the state. Watch out for each other. Take care of yourself. Thanks for tuning in to Tigers Roar.
See you next time, everybody.